I've decided to do something bold and lazy and brave today. I'm gonna be filming these videos without any makeup on. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. Ew, I don't even have lip oil on. Okay, I am putting on makeup. It's lip oil. Technically, I have lip oil on at this point. Anyways, it's gonna be interesting. Thank God for good lighting, because I think that'll help me. I just feel like I don't wanna put makeup on every time I film a video. Like, who cares? I don't have to put on makeup to film YouTube videos. You guys aren't gonna judge me, and if you do, you're not my people anyway. So here we are. I think my boyfriend is cheating on me with my older sister. That's a bad day right there. I actually feel really bad because I have both a boyfriend and an older sister. And just a warning. This story is fairly new. It came September 12th, 2025. I, 20 female, and my boyfriend, 29 male, I will call him Ryan, have been together for about 1.5 years now, and up until recently, I always trusted him. Maybe blindly and naively looking back on it. I started losing that trust a few months ago when an ex of his, I will call her Anna, found me on Instagram and DM'd me what was basically that dreaded, "Hey girly" text. If you know, you know. Anytime a female receives a "hey girly" message, it's usually something about their man cheating. On Reddit, anyway. I knew about Anna because they were pretty serious in college, and he and his mom had both told me stories about her. I was told by Ryan that they ended their long-term relationship because they wanted different things in life. He said that she wanted to settle down and he wasn't ready. I believed him, but Anna told me that they actually broke up because after 4 years together and talking about marriage, she found out he had been cheating on her almost the whole time with no remorse. Apparently, they had rekindled some time about 1 year before, and Anna thought he had grown as a person, so they were considering meeting up and possibly getting back together until he randomly ghosted her. She found my account through his and pieced together by our photos that I was the reason he had ghosted her. She proved multiple screenshots, and the timestamps are all during the same time frame me and him started talking. He was talking to both of us and entertaining us both up until the same day that he asked me to make things official. The tea is hot and we are just getting started. To what do I owe this pleasure? I don't know why she didn't tell me sooner or if she had just found out, but I never asked even now because I don't know if I even want to know more. I thanked her and I did confront him with this almost immediately. He was honest, but I think that was only because I had the proof right there, right in front of us. He admitted that he was talking to both of us and another girl because he was single then, and he had the right to. When I pointed out that I told him I wasn't talking to anyone else very early on in our talking stage, and he could have just told me back then, or better yet, stopped talking to all of these women if he thought we were so serious, he got very defensive and said that I was making this out to be something it wasn't, and said that I was acting like he was a cheater. The fact that he brought up cheating first is telling to me now, even though I didn't think of it at that moment. I know he did not technically cheat on me, but it still feels disrespectful that he not only did it, but didn't even think to tell me throughout our whole relationship. This opened my eyes to some massive red flags that just seemed to keep popping up, and eventually they were all I could see about him. I still love him despite how stupid that sounds. Even now, as I am typing this, I still hope I am so very wrong, even though I do not think I am. But I need other opinions, but I feel crazy. My sister, 25 female, who I will call Jane, just went through a nasty breakup 3 months ago and had to move back home with my parents to get back on her feet. Instead of hiring a moving company and wasting that money, she just asked our brother, 23 male, to use his truck and have the family help her move. Of course we did, but I felt like we needed some more help, so I stupidly invited Ryan to come and help us. Ryan had never met my sister before then, but as soon as they started talking, I felt like a third wheel. They have more in common, which I should have expected with them being closer in age than me and him. I ignored it at first and I tried to convince myself I was glad that they were getting along, but the way he looked at her when we left later that night and the way she said goodbye like there was more behind the words filled me with jealousy. It wasn't even a full week later that it started getting weirder. Ryan made a comment in the middle of a date night about how mature my sister is, which if you talk to women at all, anyone can tell she's the opposite of mature. So I know this was some type of dig because I've always been self-conscious about our age gap. I guess when I think back to when I was 20 years old, dating a 29-year-old, I honestly can't even imagine. Because now that I'm 33, I know how much of a different place I was at 29 versus 20. But to each their own, not my life.
I am back on my 5 a.m. morning routine. I usually get up pretty early anyway, but in recent times I've been getting up maybe more like 6:30. And I used to get up at 5 a.m. every single day of my life and go to the gym, and I just had a morning routine and we started that back up today. I'm hurting. The hour difference between 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. is so strong. I'm a zombie today, so we're gonna make a little cappuccino pronto. We are ready to go. I just learned how to do this. Matt had to show me. What do I do? Wait, what do I? Oh, yes. Watch the magic happen. Wait for it. Oh, that's so nice. Give me energy. Steamed my almond milk. Watch, I always make a mess every single time I do this. Oh, see? Told ya. Ooh. Okay, are you even getting any in the cup at this point, Joss? Anyways, there it is. I just put almond milk. I don't put anything else, no sugar or anything. Yum. Delicious. Back to the story.
I have even said the words, "I wish I was more mature," to him before. My mood was ruined after this because it made no sense to me why he was even thinking about Jane, and I was already upset and on edge, so I tried to end our night early, but he was following me around his apartment and yelling at me that I was acting insecure and that I didn't trust him. I let it slip that I hadn't trusted him for a while, and he asked me what the point of our relationship was if I cannot trust him. And after some back and forth of me saying he needed to work to regain my trust, and him saying that I was blaming him for stuff he can't change, I ended up leaving because he would not stop and I wanted to sleep. I went to my parents' place because they were closer and it was late already, so I just crashed there. My mom, of course, was curious why, and I broke down and explained everything to her, minus the Jane details because I knew that she would be listening, and she was. I was a crying mess by the end, but my mom said she thought I was being paranoid and jumping to conclusions based on his past. I called Ryan, and to his credit, he did pick up quickly, and I told him I was sorry, but now I feel like a pushover because looking back on it, I was not the one who needed to apologize. Jane even came down and comforted me herself, which is rare because she usually only cares about herself. I should have seen this as a sign, but I was too caught up on thinking my sister finally cared about me. For a while, everything was okay after. Okay is in quotations, which makes me think that it's not actually okay. When I got back to his place, he apologized for yelling and said he hated seeing me leave and even asked me to move in with him. I hadn't decided yet, but I was stupidly considering saying yes. Everything felt too good to be true and I was tired of feeling crazy, so I was trying to accept that I may have paranoia issues when everything was basically confirmed for me. In the middle of the night, like a month and a half after Jane moved back, almost 4 a.m, Ryan was on the phone with her. I caught him in his living room, basically whispering into his phone. I was already suspicious and angry before I even knew who it was, and I asked him, instead of doing the smart thing and listening to whatever they were talking about, because I still do not know what their late night conversations were about. He didn't even try to hide it. He admitted to me that he and Jane had been talking for weeks and were becoming close friends. He said he didn't tell me because he knew how I would react, and that he was worried I would think the worst. Hearing him say that felt so demeaning because it told me that he knew how I would feel and what it would look, but he still did it anyway. I was too angry to even have a conversation with him, so I locked myself in my bedroom until it was light out, ignoring him and Jane, who spammed my phone with explanations. As soon as I could, I left his apartment with as much of my stuff as I could carry. I vented to my mom about this on the phone just to find out that it was my own mother who gave Ryan's phone number to my sister that night that I crashed at their house because she apparently wanted to get to know him better. Very confused by that decision. Interesting. My mom keeps saying that she is being a good sister and looking out for me by making sure that he is good enough, but I do not believe it. The timing is too weird. Talking to my boyfriend at 4 a.m., whispering on the phone, has nothing to do with good intentions and finding out if he's good enough for me. What do you mean? I'm not buying that at all. She finds out my boyfriend has a history of cheating, and that's when she wants his number. If she truly was just trying to make sure he was good for me, she would not have felt the need to go behind my back to get Ryan's number. And would she not have done that in the beginning? And she did not do that with either of my previous relationships. For some context about how my mom acts towards Jane, my sister has always been spoiled rotten. She's my parents' favorite and didn't hear the word no from them if they could help it. In my parents' eyes, my mom especially, she can do no wrong. Even though Jane is one of the rudest people I know, my mom still sees her as a baby. My mom keeps trying to get me to accept that she's just going through a hard time and needs a good friend like Ryan who takes care of her. But that just makes me more livid because why should my boyfriend be responsible for the heavy lifting of my sister's life? She's a grown adult who could go to therapy for her problems. She shouldn't need to call my boyfriend about them in the middle of the night. Last week was my final straw. I found out through my brother that Ryan and Jane have been regularly meeting up at bars for weeks now. Even after the big fight about them calling in the night, going on what Jane calls friend dates, the cherry on top is that she specifically told my brother not to tell me, and he told me almost immediately, and I finally broke. Yeah, there's nothing appropriate about this. There is no good excuse for my boyfriend to be regularly seeing my sister behind my back, so I finally confronted him. I waited at my apartment and called them both to come, and the looks on their faces when they realized they were both there made my stomach churn. I didn't mention knowing about their little dates because I wanted to see if they would dig themselves into a hole, and that is exactly what they did. They both said they barely interact off the phone, and when they did, it wasn't planned, it just happened. I let them say their whole spiel before simply dropping, "So you ended up at the same bar multiple weekends in a row for friend dates on accident?" When I used her own words, I saw on her face that she knew that I knew.
You don't know that we know they know we know.
And they tried to say it was nothing weird, and they both adamantly denied anything happening during those friend dates. But I feel in my gut that they're lying about that too, since they can so easily lie to me about everything else. Ryan said that they were just hanging out as friends, but once they lied to my face about them, I knew that they were more than friendly hangouts. I have no hard evidence of anything going on past these dates, and even if nothing physical has happened, he's at least emotionally cheating on me with her. They let me feel like a crazy paranoid girlfriend trying to make me feel like I was seeing things while manipulating me and having the nerve to ask me to move in with him while he's doing this. I have not spoken to either of them or my mom since because I can't help but think my mom knew. What I keep thinking of that hurts most is that had Anna not told me he had a past of being a cheater, I would probably be thinking he's such a nice guy, helping and befriending my sister, and they all would have let me stay in the dark. They have not stopped trying to contact me, and I've gotten multiple voicemails from my mom that I am sure are defending them, so I can't even bring myself to listen to them. I have no idea what I am supposed to do now or how to go about this. I didn't technically break it off with Ryan, and I do not know how to. I fully believe he was trying to trap me in his life by asking me to move in with him, and I am honestly a little scared of what else he could try to keep me around. My brother said he would gladly break it to him for me, but I don't know if that's the mature thing to do, and I keep having to beat myself up for mentally missing him. Am I jumping to conclusions like my mom thinks, or does it seem like he is emotionally cheating on me with my own sister? It definitely feels inappropriate and feels wrong, and they've lied to you and they've hidden it from you. I can't say if anything physical has happened, but sketchy. So sketchy. I would never do this to my sister or anyone. Sketchy behavior. I hate it. And luckily, we have updates. Not so lucky for you. Before we get to the next update, we're hopping on Hydration Station. This is a fun beverage today. Not actually, like, it's not alcohol, but it's electrolytes. So it's water with a little Bloom electrolytes packet in it that I got for my birthday. So we're gonna be hydrating today because Matt's sick and I feel like my throat hurts. Throat is hurting. Everyone is sick right now or has allergies. It's so bizarre. So I just don't want to get sick. Cheers. We are not getting sick today, let me tell ya. Ooh, that's good. All right, so the first update came 4 days later. We're at September 16th. I decided to cut ties with Ryan and I have gone no contact with my sister and my mom. The day after I posted my initial "Am I the a-hole?", I took some of your guys' advice and I broke it off with Ryan through a careful text that said, more or less, I do not believe that nothing happened between you and my sister and I won't stay in a relationship with someone who would break my trust like that. Even if nothing happened, you lied to me about seeing her, went behind my back with her, and hurt me, all for someone you barely know. For someone I am supposed to be able to trust. I do not want you to text or call me, and I do not want to see you again. My brother will be coming to get anything of mine that you still have whenever he can. I wanted the text to be direct and fast so he couldn't try to twist my words, but he still responded saying he only wanted to be with me, he was sorry he hurt me, and that he didn't mean to break my trust. So I silenced his contact and I put my phone on do not disturb for now, but I know he's still been texting, I just refuse to even look at them. Some comments said not to block him fully just in case he goes too far and I need documentation. So I am following that advice until I think that I am in the clear. My sister showed up at my apartment unannounced after this and I am positive he told her about my text. I talked to her outside because I wanted to see if I could get more information out of her, but I didn't want her in my apartment. So while she was begging me to forgive her, I said I would if she told me the truth. And I was pretty much right. She confessed that they both talked about being attracted to each other, about what they would do together if I wasn't in the picture on those late night phone calls. The farthest it went was talking about getting a hotel room for a weekend to act on this, which she claims Ryan shot down, but I do not believe that. She said nothing physical ever happened and they were on these friend dates to live out a fantasy that they were never going to act on, which I think is BS. She said that she was the one pushing for them to go further, but he never crossed the line, but I do not care. They were leading up to cheating physically if they haven't already, and in my eyes, they already did cheat. They were basically sexting or having phone sex or whatever the F while I was asleep in the next room, and her trying to justify that makes me feel sick. I told her I was likely not going to talk to her ever again, and she went from begging me to being angry and calling me a liar almost immediately. So I just went back up to my apartment to avoid doing something that I would regret. That. I can sense it and I understand. I also finally listened to my mom's voicemails and they were in fact defending Jane. I called her, told her what Jane admitted, and I asked if she already knew. She said she didn't know and thought they really were just friends, but she still thinks I'm being too hard on Jane. She thinks I should be more angry at Ryan since he made the commitment to me, and Jane will be my sister for life. Let me tell you, I hate when family, like the title of family, is used as an excuse to treat someone poorly. Like you have to forgive them because they're family. No, I don't. I believe her that she didn't know about everything, but I can't even find the words to describe how I feel about her expecting me to just forgive Jane. I also do not believe she told the full story because I have no idea how I would find out more while also avoiding them like the plague like I want to. I have not spoken to them since, but they have pretty much brought the whole family into this to try to convince me to reconsider. I could tell they were just repeating what my mom or Jane told them, but I still made it clear to them that I also would be going no contact with anyone who tried to convince me to talk to them before I am ready, and my brother helped back me up on this. My brother has been very supportive in all of this and is probably all that is going to get me through this. He plans to go to Ryan's tomorrow to get some stuff I left there, and he's actually going to be staying with me because I do have a spare key to my apartment at Ryan's place. We are also both ready to call the cops if he tries to do so much as keep one thing from me. My brother was ready to fight fight him, but I told him not to because I don't want him to get into any trouble for my relationship problems, especially since I blame myself for not noticing this sooner. Some of these comments were the harsh kick I needed to realize I needed to stop doubting myself here and that I was acting into the exact parts of myself that he manipulated and maybe sought out when getting with me in the first place. Other comments were some great advice that really helped me, and I really appreciate those especially. For those of you pointing out how great my brother is, he has always been one of the best people I know, and he is my best friend. He really is an amazing guy to everyone, not just me. Our sister has kind of always been our biggest bully, so he knows how she can be, and even he is surprised that she went this far. He also agrees with me that they might be more together than they're saying. He never liked or trusted Ryan and didn't like us dating because of the age gap long before I realized he is a POS, and I should have considered that a while ago. I do not understand why or how I was so blind. I showed him that post earlier today because he frequents Reddit and was likely going to see it eventually. He read through the comments and I actually had to stop him from responding to some of the ruder ones that he thought were uncalled for, but I'm even grateful for a lot of the harsh comments too, because they definitely made me stop second guessing myself and made me realize I was letting this man make me act like an idiot. We're gonna read some of those comments, by the way. Before I wrap this up, I also want to say, because a lot of the comments mentioned it, I do recognize how weird the age gap was. I know it does not make a big difference, but I will be 21 in December and Ryan has only been 29 for almost 2 months now. Our relationship did not seem or feel creepy in the start. Oh yeah, you guys were dating for what? A year and a half? So you were 19? 18 and a half? How long have they been dating? I'm just piecing this together in my mind right now. But I've only dated 2 people before Ryan, and they were both the same age as me, so I know I missed the signs. I never thought I'd be in a relationship with that big of an age gap until it happened, and I didn't even expect it to last as long as it did in the beginning. I planned to not date for a while and just focused on getting past all of the anger and everything that I am feeling. And whenever I do start dating, it will not be with someone that much older, and I will definitely be more cautious no matter the age. Good idea. Now we're going to read some of the top comments that were on this post. I'm curious what people are saying now. Someone wrote, about the only thing I can add to what others have said is the observation you don't mention your father. Is he alive? If so, from your silence, I would guess that he is either staying out of this or that he enables your mother and sister on a routine basis. That is interesting, because I wonder how a father would feel, especially about the age gap. OOP wrote, my dad has always been on a short leash for my mom. I have never been close with my dad, and then I moved out practically on my 18th birthday because that is what he wanted, so it's a strained relationship. He hasn't said anything, but I am not surprised with that because we never really talk past birthday texts and holidays. I am sure he's on their side, whether he thinks what they did was right or not, because he's worse at standing up for himself than I am. Next comment. What you do now will affect your family for years. I honestly recommend you at least message each family member individually or as a group, reiterating what happened and asking them how they would react. Repeat your no contact threat and then see what people say. If they have any insight, then they're hopefully already questioning what they've been told, but you are on a hill that I would die on. Oh my God, there's another update. I thought that was the end. Okay. OOP responded to the comment and said, me and my brother texted the extended family my mom and Jane brought into this about the situation, and they were told a watered down BS story. And when they told me to reconsider, it was because Jane had told them I was assuming what happened and that I wouldn't let her explain. I don't think my mom had anything to do with coming up with the lie, but she definitely let them believe it. Now there's a giant back and forth going on that I'm doing my best to stay out of for my own sake, but my brother is making sure my feelings get heard and that my sister cannot lie anymore. The final update came 2 days later. This is like Christmas morning. My brother was able to get my things from Ryan pretty easily, but he did try to keep my key by saying he didn't know where it was. It has been in the same place since I started staying over, but he got it from him after some threats. That confirmed to me that I was right to be scared he would do something if I was alone. He tried to get my brother to pass on another apology, but that was basically the exact same BS he has said every other time, so nothing new there. Me and my brother finally had a good laugh at how how dense he is, and we really needed that. My mom and Jane are both blocked. Ryan is not yet because I'm still worried that I will need to go to the cop with his text that he has sent after I told him to stay away. I explained this as a comment on my first update, but I want to say it here too. The extended family that tried to get me to talk to Jane were lied to. Jane told them I was assuming things and I wouldn't let her explain herself, but me and my brother made sure they knew the truth, and now everything has blown up. They are not directly defending me, but I don't expect them to. I am just happy that they now know the truth. Jane texted my brother to tell me her and Ryan have not talked since then, and she deleted his number to get me back in her life. But if that is true, I think it's more because everyone except my parents see her for who she really is now. Also, that should have already happened if nothing was going on between them. They stayed in contact the whole week. I was trying to figure out if I was crazy, and that alone is disrespectful. My brother agreed to help me snoop for more evidence at some point when we are ready, but we are both going to be taking a giant step back from this whole thing for now because I do not want my brother to be suffocated with them trying to contact me through them. We are going to ignore it all weekend as if it is not happening and just do stuff that makes us happy, since it is clear that it's all we've got. If there is more to add, I will come back to this account and add it, but as of now, I got nothing more. I think this is for the best in the end. Like her and Ryan splitting, blessing in disguise, girlfriend. You got your whole life ahead of you. Shame on your sister and your family. I really hope you guys can mend that, or you can heal from it without them, whatever you decide. Stay classy out there, y'all. Stay sassy, and maybe don't be a piece of shit. Okay? See you tomorrow.